Hey folks, thanks for tuning in for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you some new acquisitions. These are actually some gifts that I received that you see here before you. And then I'll show you something new that I got in the mail that just came in today. And I'll just go over a couple little topics, items of interest. So these are in fact birthday presents that I received a short while ago. These were all from my wife. And there's actually one more gift that she gave me that is not shown here. And I'll just tell you real quick, that was the Maxpedition Fatty. It's a little carrying case. I'm sure most of you who are watching this probably know what that is. And it actually got returned. We both kind of decided that it was a little big for my needs. It was a little bit oversized, and I just couldn't really come up with any good uses, at least as far as the stuff that I tend to carry. So I went ahead and returned that one, and we each went ahead and got a Maxpedition Micro pocket case, whatever you want to call it, kind of a little carry bag. So I'm going to get one of those. It's quite a bit smaller. It doesn't have as much storage in it, but it seems to me, at least at this point, it seems it'll suit me a little bit better. So you'll see a video on that pretty soon too. But in the meantime, these are the other gifts that she gave me, and these actually, the Boker here, this is the Vox Access Tool, which some of you might be familiar with. It's a titanium single piece, or it's similar to a one-piece tool, and it's actually a pry bar with a few other functions. And I'm trying to smack it out of the box here as it's stuck. I put everything back in the box so you can kind of see how these items would arrive to you should you decide to purchase them new yourself. So there we have it, the Boker Vox Access Tool. And we've got a little pry end here, which I imagine you could probably also use as a flathead screwdriver in a pinch. We've got some sort of grip serrations or jimping on the sides there, and then it's got a little carabiner style clip on one end, and then you actually got these two little O-rings, and those you can see in between the two of them is actually a glass punch. Now you will probably not see this in another video, and the reason for that is for me this is just a little bit long, and some of these items my wife bought for me on a whim. She just kind of picked them out, thought they'd be nice. And she told me in advance that she would absolutely not have her feelings hurt if some of these items were returned or exchanged. And I didn't want to have to send any of them back or have them sitting on a shelf or anything. But this is just simply too long to ride with my keys, which is where I would carry it. And since I decided it really wasn't going to get much use, I'm probably going to send this back or trade it or something. But it is an interesting little tool, and I wanted to show it off real quick before it gets sent packing. So there you have that. And it's rather light for its size. I don't have all the specs in front of me, but it is a nice, well-built little tool. It's pretty cool. So that is the Vox Access Tool from Boker. I'll put that one off to the side. This was one I was really excited about. I actually was not really expecting this one. It was an item that I had mentioned that I'd be interested in, but I wasn't really sure if I was going to get it. And it is indeed the Spyderco Techno. And this knife is really small. And for those of you who have not actually held one, you might have seen it on video. To me, it's kind of one of those knives that nothing will really quite prepare you for just how small it is until you actually have one in your hands. Now, just because it's small does not mean that it isn't stout or well built or strong or, in this case, thick, as it is all those things. Very strong, excellent fit and finish on this knife. Absolutely beautiful. And as soon as I got this, I knew right away it was going to become a favorite, and it has. I've been carrying it pretty often ever since I received it, and I've been really happy with it, and I'm very excited to now own one and get to carry it and use it. You can see it's got a wire clip that is set for tip up, both left and right handed, and we've got a really thick blade. If it's not 4mm, it might even be a little bit thicker. I'm not sure. I don't have the specs in front of me. This is just a quick little preview of this knife. And then a nice short little 2-inch-ish sized blade, and that is one of the newer steels out there today, CTS XHP. I've got just one other knife that has this same steel. It is also a Spyderco. It's a orange paramilitary 2. It was a exclusive. I forget where I purchased it from, but that was my first foray into this steel. So this is my second knife with this steel. And it's been holding up nicely. I haven't even sharpened it, haven't stropped it or anything. I've been using it for days and days, and it's been holding up beautifully. I really like the blade shape, the overall shape with the handle's really nice, and I really dig that blue G10 backspacer there. Titanium handles. It is a frame lock, of course. One thing I was thinking of is if you're left-handed, For anyone who owns this in your left-handed, do you have difficulty opening it with your left hand? Because as a righty, I kind of struggle to get my left thumb in there, and I don't even want to do it because I'm going to probably cut myself trying to do it on camera, but I found it to be kind of tough. So it opens easily enough right-handed, but for lefties I thought that might be kind of a chore. Anyway, so that one's one I'm really excited about. You will definitely see a review on this one in the not too distant future. Again, that is the Spyderco Techno. So I'll put that one off to the side. I'll show you this one here. This is the Dozier Folding Hunter from K-Bar. This is a knife that I've been interested in trying for quite some time. Very inexpensive. This was actually just a little fun bonus gift that my wife ordered for me, and this arrived a few days after all the other gifts. So this was kind of neat. After I thought all the birthday presents had already come and gone, then this one showed up in the mail, and that was sort of a nice little bonus treat. And you can see that this is the neon green. I think they call it zombie green, something like that. Neon green handles. They're very bright. You can see just how much they contrast against that pink background there. Super bright, very high visibility. And this one has a thumb stud. There is another model that's got a round opening hole, and it has a slightly different blade shape to it as well. I think the blade on this one is just shy of 3 inches. And you've got a tip-up pocket clip that can be positioned for left or right hand carry. That is a lock back or back lock design, whatever your preference is. And I believe the steel is AUS 8. It doesn't say on here, but I'm pretty sure that's what K-Bar uses in these more basic models. Pretty comfortable, really light. It's got a little bit of jimping at the back of the blade. I like the shape and the overall comfort. You can tell when you hold it, and you can tell when you use it, that this is a rather inexpensive knife, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to hold up to years of use and that it isn't perfectly suitable for everyday tasks. It's just a little bit basic in just about all aspects. You know, fit and finish, you know, the overall composition, just how things are fastened together. It's just a little bit basic, but there's not a thing wrong with that. Arrived with a very sharp edge. Not the biggest fan of black blades, but with this really bright green handle, I'll make an exception because I think that it is a really cool design overall. And I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a bird making all sorts of little squeaking noises in the background. I've got all the windows open and the fan on, as it is a little bit warm and humid here today, so forgive me if you hear some background noises. So that is the K-Bar Folding Hunter from Bob Dozier. I'll put that one off to the side, and then finally, I got this one in the mail today. You can see that came from Amazon.com. And I'll go ahead and open that with the Spyderco Techno. And inside here is the CRKT Foltz Minimalist. And I've been wanting to, and it's a fixed blade knife. It's a little guy. I've been wanting one for some time, and just for whatever reason just hadn't taken the plunge. But the right price came up the other day, and it was under $20 shipped. And I thought that was a good time to jump in and try it out. So put that fell off to the side for a second. Foltz Minimalist, product of China. Got a little model number on there. There's the box, pretty simple. And let's just jump right in and take a look at it. I don't have a lot of fixed blades, as a lot of you already know, just simply because in California you can carry fixed blades, but it's just not as friendly of a state as some others. So you have to carry them a certain way, and you don't want them to at all appear concealed. So you want to carry them somewhat conspicuously. You know, you want them to be very obviously worn about your person. You don't at all want them to be covered by your clothing at any point. And so it's just something that, you know, why hassle with it when there's so many cool folders? I just usually avoid fixed blades. This one's a nice little neck knife, and for the price, I thought I would finally jump in and give it a try. And so far, just looking at the materials, you know, it's got some decent paracord on here. I don't know if it's, you know, true, whatever you want to call it, mil spec or military specification paracord, but it does seem to be nice cord. Got a plastic or composite sheath there, and then there's also, this looks to be some sort of a little clip, maybe a belt clip, a belt loop that you attach to the sheath. So you can attach that to your belt, and then obviously with this little cord you can attach this to your neck, and it just kind of clicks together there. Let's go ahead and pull the blade out. That's held in there pretty snug. That's a good, yeah, that's a good bit of tension on that blade holding that in there. So if you were to wear this hanging down, just with this early you know, observation, I would say that's going to be held in there pretty darn well. But there's the blade. You can see by comparison to my hand, actually quite small. I think it is just shy of 2 inches on the blade, or maybe it's 2 inches including this unsharpened portion. And that is the Wharncliffe style. I do really like Wharncliffe blades, and I thought with this small little model, I thought that would be a good choice. It's kind of a neat, almost like a little tiny little box cutter or a little whittler, but very nice. I don't know what the handle is. Maybe it's micarta. Forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. I just don't remember. And you can see, let's take a little close up on the blade there. Foltz Minimalist. Got some sort of a number. I believe that's the model number there. And then the company logo. A little bit large, a little bit garish for my taste. I'd like to see those a little bit smaller or not there at all, but you can't win them all. So it's got sort of a bead blasted finish. You can see it's dull, not very shiny. By comparison, I'll put the Techno up here. You can see that the Techno's got sort of like a light stone wash. It's almost kind of a polished finish compared to that CRKT. And you can see the blades are both quite small, but the Techno still quite a bit bigger side by side. And a lot of people have said how comfortable the handle is because it's got these really deep finger grooves in it so that it stays in your hand very well. And I'll go ahead at this early stage and agree with them. That seems to stay in my hand really well. Doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And that's pretty nice. So I'm glad to own that, and I'll probably carry this around a little bit. Maybe you'll see a review on it, maybe you won't. I don't have a lot of occasions to use a fixed blade, so they don't get carried quite often enough for me to really put my official stamp on them, at least not thus far. But if I do carry it enough to be able to give you a good idea of how it works for me, then I definitely will come back and do so. So there you go, the CRKT Minimalist. I'll put some of these items out side by side. And real quick, I wanted to give mention to a nice fella that I've been talking to on Instagram and here on YouTube. And he's got a new channel up, and it goes by the name KnifeTex. I'll put the name up on the screen, and I'll also include it in the description for this video. Swell guy. He's got a pretty cool Instagram account. He takes a lot of photos. He's got a couple videos on an old channel, but I think he's starting up a new one, so I'll leave his old channel out and just let you check out that new one. It's only got one video up right now as of this recording, but hopefully he'll have a lot more content coming soon. He's a really great guy. He's got a good sense of humor, and I expect some really cool videos from him. So check him out. KnifeTex, again, is that name. And if you like what you see, then please do subscribe and show him some support. Also, I've had a lot of people mention collection videos. They'd like to see a collection video from me. And that's something I've been meaning to do. I promise. I really actually have been giving it a lot of thought and consideration. I wasn't sure if I should just do one great big video that, you know, just has all the knives that I own all thrown together, and then, you know, talk about each one real quick, or not talk about them at all, or should I go by brand? So I hadn't decided exactly how I'm going to do it, but I promise I do plan on doing one or several collection videos. I'll probably break it down by the type of item that it is, you know, a multi-tool, a knife, what have you, and then also go by brand. And I think that's just the easier way to break it down. It's not that to my mind, I don't have a tremendous amount of knives, but some of you would probably disagree. But it's just that I have so many that if I'm gonna say a few words about each little one, and it seems like that would make sense for a collection video, I think that would probably be a little bit easier to digest if it was in several chapters rather than just one giant long video. As you all know, my videos are long enough as it is. So once I get that dialed in and figured out how I want to do it, you'll start to see that being uploaded most likely in segments. So look forward to that, and don't give up on me if you've been waiting for a collection video or videos. They're coming. And finally, I've got a couple reviews in the works. You'll see a couple Spydercos coming up, and I was thinking about doing a pry bar video. So look for that one soon too. Sorry for the slow frequency with which I'm uploading videos. Just getting busy with other stuff and having fun, you know, goofing around in quote-unquote real life outside of YouTube videos and Instagram. That's another thing. I've been having a lot of fun on Instagram. I could just sit on there and just look at knife photos all day long. For those of you who have the capability of getting on Instagram but you have not done so yet, I recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's silly, and then, you know, there's not really much to it. You're just looking at photos and just commenting on folks, you know, their different uploads. But I've been enjoying it, and I think some of you might as well. So check that out. And like I mentioned before, check out KnifeTex, and look forward or hang in there for some collection videos and some new reviews coming real soon. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.